Hello and welcome. Welcome to New Zealand. Thanks for joining me again. Well, this week, a little bit different, something different. I have just got back from Melbourne, Australia, and while I was over there, I was wanting to put a vlog together. Unfortunately, time didn't allow me to do that, so I've gotten back and hence we're due to put an episode out, and I really haven't got enough content to put together that episode. So today what I thought I'd do is just go over a couple of little housekeeping things and just tidy up some things, keep you informed where the channel's going. I've had some questions over the last week or two that I'd like to address, and also we can check out what I saw in Melbourne, a little bit of what I saw over there. So there's some pictures from Melbourne coming up. So firstly, just the direction of the channel. I just thought I'd just give you an update of where it's going. When I started the channel, I had no specific idea of where I wanted the channel to go. I'm about 18, 19 episodes in now. I can't remember how many we've done, but it's around about 20. Oh no, so we're about 14, 15 episodes in, and I have a bit more of an idea of where I want this whole thing to go. So firstly, when I started, I was planning on doing a stringent weekly schedule, putting stuff out every week on a certain day. I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm still going to put out stuff weekly, but I want to try and throw some extra small episodes in. I'm going to call them mini-sodes, simply because I've got material, or I'm out filming material constantly, and there's a lot of stuff I have that's not quite in-depth enough to create a full episode, but I think there's interesting stuff that I'm doing. I think that you guys might be interested as well. So rather than discard that stuff, I thought I'd put out mini-sodes. So that's the first thing about the channel. The second thing is, I've had a huge response to the film photography stuff that I've been doing, and people are really into that, and I'm really enjoying doing it as well. So I am going to be doing more film, and in fact this episode here I've done some film photography. So we're going to do more film. I've got film cameras in boxes up here. I've got several of them. I'm going to pull those out from time to time, and we're going to use them, and we're going to show you what we're getting with them. And we're going to do, because film's cool. There's a real groundswell movement in film photography, and I want to really kind of help to push that whole love of film. I want to keep it alive, so I think I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the results I get from film. I like putting the film videos together. So we're going to do more of it. We're going to do more film, and hopefully you enjoy it. So that's a bit of direction on the channel, where we're going with the channel. That's a bit of an informative update on what we're doing. So stay tuned. Secondly, I've had a few questions over the last couple of weeks. People just wanting to know about my camera system. For example, Robbie Wishdog contacted me this week and said he had an XT2 and he was thinking about moving to the E-M5 MK2 because he was really impressed with the pictures that I'm getting from it. XT2 is a great camera, and I'd actually kind of argue that it's probably got slightly better picture quality than the Olympus cameras. Marginal, yes, but I've used Fuji cameras and I'm just so impressed with the quality of images, and I don't think, Robbie, you're gonna notice any great change in your photography by moving to the Olympus system. Olympus cameras are great, and by all means, if you like them, go for them and use them, but is it going to make you a better photographer? I buy cameras, I have to buy good cameras, so my camera has to have all of the tools I need, for sure. But one of the big selling points of a camera to me is how it makes me feel. And that might sound stupid and it might sound silly, but it's true. Photography for me is all about how I feel and about expressing how I feel. And how a camera makes me feel when I'm using it is a big part of why I use that camera. So sounds crazy, I know, but it's true. So that, in a nutshell, is my stance on changing systems. Again, how I feel about Olympus cameras. They're good cameras with a great history, and that's the other reason I use Olympus. Olympus has a great history, and kind of gets shortchanged a little bit and gets knocked down in the pecking order. Nobody tends to talk a great deal about Olympus cameras. It's usually Panasonic or Sony or Fuji. Olympus kind of gets a little bit of a raw deal, but for me, they are as good as any of those systems. And I just think their history is a bit stronger. Their lenses are fantastic. They've got great selection in lenses. You know, you've got pro quality lenses. You've got compact primes, which are well priced. They just cover, in my opinion, they've covered it really well, and I like the system. So if you're thinking of changing, by all means change, because it's a fantastic system, and I'll sing its praises till the cows come home. Great camera, but it's not going to make you a better photographer. So that's my stance on the whole thing. Next thing, my trip to Melbourne. Just so quickly, I went to Melbourne last week, and again, the plan was to do my vlog over there. My camera bag got changed several times. There were several cameras I was going to take. I was going to take my Leica and then do my vlog, and you know, so the Leica went in the bag. The Leica came out of the bag. I went through some pain and trying to select the camera system I was going to take. I finally went with this system here. I went with the E-M5 MK2. And the main reason I went with it was because I could shoot my video on it. I could take a couple of lenses, and they were compact. I took the 45 f1.8 and I took the 17 f1.8. I had an event that I wanted to shoot while I was over there, so this was predominantly on my camera for that. And then I wanted to do some street photography, do some kind of urban type stuff. So the 17 basically came along for the ride for that reason. So I took two lenses, camera, and that was my setup, and it was compact. So it was great to take this camera. I love the pictures I get from this camera. I love the compactness of this camera. I love using it with a 17mm for street photography. It's fantastic. It's small, it's easily portable. Again, I took two lenses, body. This is the setup. As a last minute thing, I wasn't going to shoot any film on this trip, but I thought, well, seeing as I'm traveling so light, I'm going to put a film camera in there. And I took this little beauty here, which is the Pen EE2, and I'm just so glad that I did. I mean, like, this camera, for anybody that's thinking about buying a small compact point and shoot film camera, this is an amazing camera. So I just want to quickly just talk to you about the Pen EE2 and why I love this camera. Firstly, this camera was given to me by my daughter for a Christmas present, and she picked it up and she paid nothing for it. Somebody was chucking out a bunch of cameras they had a box full of old cameras they were chucking out. She grabbed this for me because she knew I liked Olympus cameras. She saw it on Facebook and she went along to somebody's place, picked this camera out, and it's just beautiful. The quality of this camera is in beautiful condition. I believe it's in mid-1960s, so that's nearly 60 years old, that camera. Unbelievable. It's really simple. It's just got, I use it as a point and shoot. You can use it as a semi manual camera. You can change the aperture on there manually, and I think you have to calculate your focal distance and stuff. Just set your ASA and away you go, and just shoot with it. And it's a half frame, so what that means is, if you're not familiar with the half frame cameras, what it does, it basically, instead of shooting a full frame, it shoots half of that. The default orientation on this camera is portrait, so if you shoot it like that, it shoots in portrait mode, which I love, which is great for street photography. I love shooting street photography in portrait mode, so you don't have to basically shoot it like this, you just shoot it like that. Because it's a half frame, double the exposures off a roll of film. In this case, I think I rolled 22 exposures, so it gave me 44 exposures, which is awesome as well for traveling, because in this situation, I didn't want to take a whole heap of film because of going through customs. You often get problems with your film going through the X-ray machine, so I just wanted to have a roll of film, have it loaded, and as it was, I only shot this camera for about an hour in Melbourne because, again, time didn't allow, so I just walked the streets of Melbourne, flicking it away. It's just a fantastic camera, and point and shoot. So great camera. If you ever come across one of these and you're thinking about buying it, grab it. Can't speak highly enough, and I'll show you the pictures of this shortly. So that was my setup. I took to Melbourne. I took the 2 cameras, and again, I didn't get a huge amount of time to do any photography. I've got just enough footage to scrape together to show you some stuff. So let's go and have a look at that stuff now. Let's go and check out the images I got from the 2 cameras, and at the end of it, I'm also going to show you a print. I made a print from this camera, and I want to show you how cool that. I did a cool print off that camera, little half frame, and I'll show you that print. So let's go and check out the footage, check out the images. Melbourne, Australia. Let's have a look. Melbourne, and great city. If you're ever thinking about going to Australia, seriously do Melbourne. It's just one of the great cities of the world. My second favourite city in the world. Just fantastic. That's almost it. Before I go, I just want to show you a print that I have made from from one of the pictures that I took with my little pen EE. Now remember, this is a half frame camera, so we're only talking about half frames. That's the size of the frames. So this is the print that I made. And like I said a few episodes ago, like I'm big into making prints. Printing your work is really important. And this is the print that I made off that little tiny camera. So anybody tells you you can't make decent sized prints, I think somebody said to me once that or I read it somewhere that, you know, if you're printing 8x10, fine, but anything bigger, this is not the camera for you. Well, that kind of, to me, dispels that whole theory of that. Look at that. There's Angus, is it? No, not Angus, it's Malcolm Young. This was in AC/DC Lane, the mural on the wall there, and just a tribute to Malcolm Young, who's passed away last year. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? So that'll be framed. I think I'll frame that and put it on my wall somewhere. So yeah, small cameras, small frames, half frames, micro 4/3. Awesome. Okay, so that's about it for this week. Thanks for joining me again. It'll be back to normal next week. I've got a few cool things planned for the coming up episodes, so stay tuned. As usual, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, hit that button. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing a little bit more content, so by subscribing you'll get updates when that content comes out. Social media, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Follow the links below in the show notes. Website, I'll be putting up these images on my website. Check out the link below for my website and for my vlog page with these images. I think that's about it. That's about a wrap. I think it's time to go. Please take care. Please come back. Until next time, haere rā from New Zealand. Goodbye.